Hi, so welcome to the Proven Pathway to Success webinar. My name's Scott C. Campbell. As most of you will know by now that I'm a business and marketing strategist expert. We're just going to wait for the webinar to fill up completely. Just still some people coming on. I can see logging in all the time. We're quite near to getting to the maximum actually of people signed in. So we're just waiting a second and people, and we're going to be so while waiting for more people to come on, we're just going to go through the 5 stages of the proven pathway to running a successful business, and particularly as a lot of your small business owners, and we'll be going through each stage in a bit more detail tonight. So it looks like we've got everyone on board, and lots of people in today, almost to 250 people, almost fully on board. So which means we're going to be quite close to maximum actually on this webinar. I think the limit was 250, so if you do get cut off at any point, it's a good chance you won't come back on, but there will be a replay at some point, and you'll and I'll send out the links of when that's available through the website or via YouTube. Hopefully we'll put it on there as well soon. So so there we go. So there we go. So to kick off then quickly, so yeah, so we're going to be going through the proven pathway to success and the 5 stages of the proven pathway to running a successful business. And here are the 5 stages in the business model that I use, and this is what I use with my one-to-one clients and particularly a lot of businesses over the years. And just to quickly little bit about myself, you'll see on your screen now is my vision statement, which is to affect people's lives powerfully and positively, ensuring they achieve all their dreams through the success of their business. And I'm very passionate about helping small business owners, particularly one, because I consider myself a small business owner, obviously, and I know what the success has brought me, and want to impart on anyone else. And I have over 26 years experience in helping a lot of businesses and running £7 million businesses, including £11 million business at one point, and lots of success throughout that 26 years, and working with a lot of different industries and a lot of specific industries and clients and so forth. So it's been my pleasure to work at and success. And what has kind of happened is over the years I've built up this kind of 2 business models that I use in particular. There's a separate one, 8 steps to more profit, that I use, which is really kind of after this. The first stage is this proven pathway, and what we're going to be going today is on this webinar, I'm going to be going through each stage of the proven pathway to success in detail, and then I'm going to show you kind of the 3 ways to implement the proven pathway to success as well. And then at the end as well, there's going to be a special offer. One of the ways to implement it, there's going to be a special offer around that. So if people want to take action, then there's going to be an extremely special offer, valuable special offer that you can take up, and we'll go through that a bit later. But this goes so really the 5 stages are, if I go back to the initial 5 steps here, and this is kind of the first thing I do with my clients and businesses that I get into, is building actually the structure and they're getting them on this pathway, because a lot of people think it's just marketing. They think, oh, if I had 10 grand to spend on marketing, my business would be a success. And actually that's not true, because a lot of people do marketing as well. They think it's purely about, do a bit of marketing, get loads of clients. And marketing is really just about lead generation. And the 5th element, which we'll get to obviously at the end, turning leads into clients, is a real major step that small business owners really kind of suffer, and really that's where it all falls down. Quite a lot of small businesses are actually quite good at getting leads, and marketing is just then turning them into clients, and they think, well, the marketing didn't work. Actually, it was because of that. So a lot of people think it's just marketing, but that really is kind of just the 4th element, and it's really about getting all of these correct and in place, which make your business a success, running kind of easily and make you successful. So excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough, so you have to excuse me. I'll be coughing throughout the webinar, no doubt. So stage 1. Now there isn't actually any detail to stage 1, because I'm going to take the assumption that you've all either started your business or you've got a business idea you're just about to implement. And really it was about kind of obviously to show the pathway from where it goes from. This was stage was important to have. It just clarified that, but we're not going to get. There's no detail behind this because I'm going to assume that you all started your business, or you've got a business idea that you've started on, and that will kind of denote it. Just depending on what your business is and what your business idea is, that'll already dictate whether you need premises, whether you need staff, and so forth. So I'm going to very much flip by that and go on to stage 2, which is set up the structure of your business. And I said this is not about setting up your structure in terms of staff and premises and stuff like that, because you kind of really do that when you start up your business with the business idea. Setting up your structure is, first of all, is about setting your objectives over the next 12 months. And I'm very key on this actually, because a lot of businesses like doing sort of mid-long term plans, and which is great. And I myself have long-term objectives and mid-term objectives, but also always have a 12-month objectives. And the reason why is because you'll all be at different levels. You'll all be at different parts of your business. Some of you might be a couple of years, into business, and you've lost your. You kind of just struggling to get it going. Somebody 6 months thought it'd be easy, and obviously still struggling to get it moving forward. There might be some of you have been in business a long time, and you just lost your biggest client or something like that, and unfortunately, you kind of relied on them a bit too much. So the objectives were all very different and very individual. And the reason why I very much initially set 12-month objectives, and I'd recommend you doing it, is because it gives it some urgency and makes you do it straight away. If you turn around and said, right, do a big business plan, objectives and everything in my 5 years' time, I want to be turning over, 6 figures, £100,000. Well, that's fine, but because it's 5 years, there's no real urgency, because you always think, well, I'll do it next year, or I'll do that in months. I haven't got to do it this month. I can do that start that next month, and you never end up doing it. By setting a 12-month objectives, whatever it is, it really kind of just sets that urgency. Say, right, you've got to do it now, and it gets you into that frame of mind of taking action and actually doing stuff straight away. So that's why I initially set it for 12 months and asked people, and those of you that have worked with me or know my one-to-one clients will know that that's the first thing I talk about, is what the next 12 months. We always look to the long-term future. There's always an end result that we're going to get to and we start preparing for now. But initially it's looking about, where do we want to be in the next 12 months or even sooner. The next stage is really about having a product profile. Now, if you're not sure what I mean by this is what I call product profile, is having it really clear about what products or services you offer and what they are and who they're for. Because what you want to do is, if me and you had imagine that we're sitting down for a cup of coffee tomorrow morning, and I said to me, right, tell me what your products are, and how much they are, or what services do you offer and how much are they. You should be able to tell me straight away, because if you can't, and you see people do a bit of this, and if you do that and then that, and then I might be able to do that, but then if we do that, it'll be this price, and it gets really, really confusing and muggly. And it kind of, having a product profile that really identifies what your products are and what your services are, and the price points, makes it really clear in your mind, and also makes it clearer for your potential clients and customers. And it also lets you kind of, as we said, maybe product upsell. Excuse me. It lets you really kind of start alluding to the next stage or the next product profile that you have. You can be doing one product. You can be talking about a product that you do, and it might be something like a skincare, range, something like that. And that you have this other product which is a bigger bundle of the skincare and other parts, and you think, well, that leads to that, and so really having a product profile is really important, so that at any point, someone can step into your business with you and say to you, right, well, what products do we sell? Okay, so that's your product profile. And then what having your product profile really helps you is then develop a product sales funnel. And for any of you that have been in my seminars where I've gone into this stage a lot more detail, will understand how important it really is. And your product sales funnel is really making sure that you've got a price point product or service at any available price point. So starting from zero, what can people get? What value can they get for you from zero? So if you use my business, for example, I do free seminars, I do marketing tips, do lots of presentations, free webinars like this one, so I give a lot of value and a lot of content out for free. So that's my starting block. Then have you got a product that's within that first sort of range, sort of kind of below £50, and even if it's people, even if it's something like what I do, where it's very service oriented and it's and I charge quite a bit of money for people to work with me one to one and so forth, but then you can still look at ways that you can bring in a lower end. So for me, it's the Business Growth Success Club, which starts at £27. So that's my product within that range at the start of my product sales funnel. So that would be a way of people can start seeing people that have the free stuff and get the value. Think, well, I want to go to the next level and see what Scott can do, and see if it can help me. Maybe I'll join that and see what it's like. So they kind of get that, and they get loads of value for £27. And then within that, there's some upsells as well. There's this, so they can go up to the £47 Elite membership or the Mastermind membership, and so which is a £197. So there's different price points all the way along there, up to £200. There's then also, if you look at the far end of my scale, you've got these, apart from the one-to-one projects that I do with people, which can run into thousands of pounds, but on the face of it, the Small Business Success Workshop, just under £2,000 at 1990, is at the top other end. Now, if I just had that as a product itself, just a workshop, then there's a big gaping hole in between of people where they can spend money with me, if you like, and then get that trust building up so that they build up to the higher price points. Where you can get quite clever with this is actually that price point, that £2,000. Now I offer that over 10 months, so it becomes 10 months of £199. So straight away I've got a product now then as well, which is also within that £100 to £300 price range. And then I've also got a product, I've got a 2-day seminar, 897, teaching people how to sell without selling and stuff like that. So it's kind of, you've got to have a product in every price point, because there's two things that you don't know with your customers or potential clients. Two things you don't know is, one, you don't know what mindset there is in, so you don't know if they're ready to take action, or they're just after free stuff, or they just want to get some value first of all. Then you also don't know what their budget is, and so you kind of want to have a product at every level. So it's kind of free for stuff, for people still get your content, because yeah, it's great. They might not purchase initially from you, but if they continue to steal your content, it will build you up, and it also proves that if it's service based, you are the expert at what you're doing it, or if it's products where there are free samples and stuff like that to really test the product, make sure it is fantastic, and let the product sell itself. And then the next step up is excuse me, is that sub £50, and then sort of kind of £100 to £300, some price points in there, and also where a lot of small businesses struggle is having a high-end product, and don't be afraid to have an high-end product. If you sell, say related to some way to the health, business, and like Forever Living or Herbalife or Arbonne or something like that, then if you really get to know them products, and you get to know what they do and how they help people and how great they are, then you can charge a health consultant fee, or you can train other people to do it as well. So that could be a higher end product, and that could be something where you would pay, so you would start then have a £1,000 product of actually training people how to become a distributor and a health consultant, because that's pretty much what you do. So there's all kind of levels that you can really sort of look at, and that's something with small businesses, that you kind of think about what you offer as a service. If you offer something and you're really good at it and you are good at what you do, then can you train other people to do that? Because that gives you a different price point. It's completely. And if you look at in the health and beauty, the people that make the money in the health and beauty industry are actually the people that do the training, not the people that actually go and sell the health and beauty products. The people that actually train the people how to do it are the ones who are actually making the big money from it, and the six figures money from businesses from it. So there's an indication. Just think about where you can have a high end panel, but on the other scale, if you've only got a high end product, if you're a business coach and so forth, and you've only got a high end product, how can you bring low end products into it? And a lot of you'll know with one of my clients as a coach that's only got a £2,000 product, but kind of got a seminar in there and a workshop. So a seminar at £19, a workshop now at £79, and then a private workshop, and then there's so there's kind of now got a lot of scales within that too. So you can develop that sales funnel, and if you don't try to sort of kind of obviously think outside the box a little bit of how you can, but always have a high end product and make sure you've got products at the low end as well. And if it's something where it is products, think about packaging up them products to make one bigger product. So if you do social media, say for people, you're like, oh, you do your virtual PA and you do some social media services on the side as well. But then maybe you could product that up as they all be individual products, but then you could product that up into one big product, which is everyone's online marketing and managing and the business, and that could be one big product in itself. So so really important to develop your product sales funnel, and if you can look at my seminars, is go into that into a bit more detail, which is really cool. And then the next one is about prioritizing tasks, the last part of stage 2. And then again, it's quite vital is what I do with my clients is one-to-one clients is we put tasks into A, B, and C. Priority A being only you can deliver that. So for me, the small business success workshops, only I can deliver that because it's so that's a priority A task for me because I need to be the one delivering that and working with the people one-to-one on them 4 days. So that's a priority A task. Doing my paperwork each month or sending out letters and replying to the general emails and stuff like that, that's a priority C because I can pay someone else to do it and they'll do it better than me. Yes, I can do it and I can do it well, but they would do it better than me. And then that time that I'm saving not doing them priority C tasks, I can then devote that time to priority A tasks. Things like getting new clients, building my business, delivering more to my clients. And that will generate much more income by using that time effectively rather than do it. So don't think of it, oh, well, it's another cost, I've got to pay someone £100 a virtual PA, and I'm just looking actually on the people that sign in, there's a couple already I can see that are virtual PAs. Yeah, and Helen's so it's so with the virtual PAs, you don't think of it as a cost to your business. Think about, right, okay, what can the virtual PA do to me? That's how much it's going to cost. If I go out and spend that time that I would have done doing all them tasks and go and do the priority A tasks like getting new clients and delivering my service or my products, then is it going to make me a lot more money than that? And the answer will always be yes. So it's a good thing to just A, B and C and just put them in each one. A being absolutely you need to do it, and then the other end of the scale saying yes you can do it, but it's very manual and it takes too much of your time, so you can pay someone else to do it or get someone else to do it. So so stage 3 then, developing your strategies. And the first point of this is identifying your ideal client, and this is obviously really, really key, but so many people do get this wrong, and or they're not harsh on themselves. So when I say identify a client, it really is identifying it and being really targeted, even if it is a sort of product that anyone, you can say, oh, anyone, it's for anyone, but be a lot more specific, and it makes you can make your marketing a lot more targeted and your strategies a lot more targeted and more effective. I'll give you an example. Whereas even with my ideal client, because it's all small business owners, now that's still very, very too broad in it. So I do section it up sometimes. There's a few of my products where I do a lot of stuff with coaches, one-to-one coaches, and quite a few of my inner circle people are clients that are coaches, business coaches, or life coaches. Now, I have products, if you like, that I market directly to coaches. So even within, yes, them strategies would work with any industry, but I specifically talk about them to coaches and within there. So it's even targeting that ideal client even more so. And also when you're doing identifying your clients, and if you do one or more products, they might have different ideal clients. If you do utility warehouse, for instance, you'll have the business services and for the energy saving, and the domestic one. So they're two different ideal clients. and that'll be a case in a lot of businesses where you can really identify each product you need to identify your ideal client for each product. Now once you do that, it's a lot easier to build an effective marketing strategy. Now I just want to kind of sort of enlighten that word effective, really, because a lot of people say, you know, build a marketing strategy, build an effective marketing strategy, and I don't really know what it means. But I'm saying is by effective marketing strategy, it means that it's targeted, and so it works better. And if we give you an idea of if your ideal client, you know, if you're, and I always use these ones because I think it kind of gets it simply and gets it across, that dog groomers, you know, if you're a dog groomer, then your ideal client is dog owners. Now, if you just print 1,000 leaflets and you just get it sent out to 1,000 addresses, then only 5% are likely them to be dog owners at best. So that means that 950 of your leaflets have just gone straight into the bin. Now, so then you're down to 50. Now we know with leaflets it's kind of only 1 in 10 that are potentially interested if it's targeted. So now we know 50 of them are dog owners, only 1 in 10 are going to kind of take some sort of response to it. So that means actually only 5. And then without that 5, actually probably only 1 of them will become a client or a paying customer. So that means from 1,000 leaflets, you've only got 1 client. Okay, which I mean that's why a lot of people try leafleting and they say, oh, it didn't work. That's why. But if you look here, if you've identified that, and it's quite easy for dog groomers because it's dog owners, then you can identify like where the dog owners hang out. They hang out at the parks, obviously, where they take the dogs. So then 1,000 leaflets, you don't just willy-nilly drop off at 1,000 houses. You take them to dog parks, you know, take them parks and hand them out to dog owners. Now it'll take you longer to get them 1,000 leaflets out, but it'll be much more effective. And then because they're going to all dog owners, then 1 in 10, all of a sudden, you know, 10% of 1,000, it's 100. And then when you look at sort of kind of from that, every 1 in 5 maybe become a potential client. That's 20 clients. So them same 1,000 leaflets have now got you 20 clients, whereas the previous strategy, which was just a marketing strategy because it would just get leaflets and hand them out, so that was just a marketing strategy, that only got 1 client. And that's where the word effective can be made. So we can be, once you've identified your ideal client, you can really get effective marketing strategy by being really targeted on where your ideal clients hang out and where they go. The other one is about the which I like is my marketing pizza, and it's now you've all heard obviously of a marketing plan, and but my marketing pizza is kind of it's a very effective visual way of a plan, because most plans people spend a lot of time doing marketing plans, and they look lovely, they print them off, they look wonderful, and then they go in a drawer and they don't look at them again, and so that, you know, it's pointless. It's just a waste of time really doing it. With a marketing pizza, what it is a very visual way. So just imagine that obviously a pizza's round. You just kind of on a bit of paper you just draw a round circle, and you split that up into percentages. So 50% of your marketing is going networking, for instance. Then you just draw a line down the middle, and in that half on the right you just type in networking, and then actually write in there what networking meetings you're going to go to. So you can be really kind of drive what you're going to do, and then if you fill that out, and then 10% Facebook, and then what you're actually going to do is it, you know, do an event, or you know, or your Facebook page, or update your page daily. Just write it in there again quickly, and how much of that time you're going to develop to it, and it really kind of gives you a real easy visual one thing. And if you think about I don't know where pizza come from, because obviously it's one of my clients, and used to cook marketing pie and it become a pizza, but and those who know me obviously can see that I like my food. So although I don't like pizza fair enough, but I do like my food. But if you look at it with your business to survive, a bit like if your business is hungry and it's not getting enough clients, it's hungry and it's starving, it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna do well. It's the same with your business with the marketing. So your business with the marketing is, if you've identified that 50% of your marketing is going to be going to networking, and then at the end of the month when you look back at a plan, you're looking, you don't go to any networking, your business is going to be very, very hungry for leads, because that was what was going to bring in your leads. That was the strategy of your marketing, was going to be 50% of it was going to be networking. If you then don't go to any, then you know you kind of 50% of how much you should feed your business you haven't done. So your business is going to be 50% less hungry than what it should be, which means it won't be bringing the leads and it won't be bringing the clients. So it's a very visual way of just knowing what marketing you're going to do, and then a very easy way to look back at the end of the month and actually analyse very much what you did actually do. Did you do all them go to the networking, and did you do what you said you were going to do? If so, which one was more effective? Because if your marketing was really effective, then networking was really effective. If say on Facebook wasn't, for instance, then you do less of the Facebook and you do maybe go to another networking meeting. So it's a really good way of dividing up your time, and because you haven't got all the time in the world to do marketing, you can come up with all these marketing ideas in your marketing plan, but you won't have the time to fulfil them, because as soon as you get one client, you go, well, I couldn't do that because I got one client, so I didn't do that part of it. Well, now I've got no clients at the end of the month because I've done the job for that one, and I've got to go and do it again. So with the marketing piece, it just keeps you really kind of a visual way of remembering what you've got to do, but dividing up your time as well. So at the start of the month, you say, right, I've got so many hours, 20 hours this month that I'm going to do marketing. I'm going to, I'm going to go to 10 networking groups, which are, an hour long each, and so forth. So that's 10 hours. That's 50%. I'm going to spend 2 hours, on Facebook and LinkedIn, and you just divide it up, and it makes a very visual way of being able to effectively do marketing rather than just writing it all down a bit of paper and then never getting none of it done. Right, now we're going to develop your strategies. Stage 3 about designing your lead generation hook, and you might have had this referred to as lead magnets. It's really about what is your hook, whether it's your networking pitch, your pitch that you say to people, whether it's a leaflet you give out, whether it's some value you give out. Is what is your lead generation hook? What is it that you do that makes your leads come to you? And very much like if you think of, if I give you an example, I do the free seminars and the marketing tips. So that's kind of, people want marketing tips for free, so I give away a lot of free stuff. And a lead generation hook is, the easy way to do it is you give away something of value so that people are prepared to give you their name and email address and or phone number. Okay? So what do you give of value that makes someone want to give you their details that you can follow up with them? Yeah, or contact them in again, because if you're not generating leads and keeping contact names and email addresses and so forth, then you're going to be an uphill battle. So you need to design your lead generation hook. Your lead generation, and it can be an ebook, and it doesn't matter what business you're in. You can have it. You've got to have a lead generation hook. It could be anything. If you look at big companies like BT, for instance, they do deals all the time, don't they? New customers only. How many big businesses you hear? Oh, for new customers only, we do this deal. That's their lead generation hook. They take a bit of a loss for the first 6 months to make sure that they get the leads and get the sales in. And all they're doing is trying to get people to inquire, to have a look at it, to maybe go onto their website and put some information or like their Facebook. How many people do you see to win a competitions? A lot of the big companies do this. Like just like our Facebook page to get a chance of winning the new iPad. And what they're doing is they're gathering your information so that they can then market to you, because you have shown that you want an iPad. Because you've entered a competition to win an iPad, so you're half interested. There's some interest in them, the iPad. So now they've got your details, whether you win or not. So, and it's a good news story. So that's their lead generation hook. It's giving competitions. There's got to be something that you've got in your business which you use to generate leads, something of value that you give, whether it's a competition, whether it's an ebook, just tell them about what you do in your industry, whether it's things like what I do, seminars and videos and so forth. There's got to be something that you do that's a lead generation. It's something of value you give that people are prepared to give you their details. And again, massive, because that's where it all starts, and that's where develop it. And it is not part of your marketing, because you've got to have that before you start your marketing, really, because that's what you use to get out there to get your leads to give you their information. And in seminars and workshops, and this is about this strategy, is that a strategy for your business? Obviously it'll be different, I think we use example, virtual PAs. Could they do a seminar? They could do, actually. If you think of a PA, because a lot of people won't understand the benefit of having what a PA can do for your business. So that if you're a virtual PA and you put on a free seminar for people to find out how a virtual PA can add 10% extra to your turnover of your business, yeah, people would come to that to find out, and you can educate them about what a virtual PA does and how it can help your business. It's just not about just doing the chores that you don't want to do. It's about, at the end of the day, anything that's involved in your business. It's about adding value to your business in some way. Um, and whether or not you do workshops, whether your business is something where you do workshops with people, then that could be a strategy. You might need to think about to develop your strategies. Because if you can't just say, right, because what you don't do is you think, if you're already not part of strategy, you think it's a marketing thing, you think, to get clients, I'll put on a seminar workshop to get clients. Well, if you've ever tried that, one, you'll know it's very difficult to fill seminars and workshops to get people to come to them for the first place, whether they're free or charged. So that's the difference. So that's why it's part of the strategies, because it's not a marketing thing, because you've got to do separate marketing to get people to the seminar, people to your workshops. So, but that's a strategy that when I think of your business, it's a strategy that I work on a lot with my coaches, and I do an individual sessions with my coaches, particularly on a seminars and workshop strategy, which some of you will know about, and it's just deciding whether or not that's a route you want to go down or not. And then we're going to stage 4. So the big one, I suppose, the marketing and lead generation. Now, as you can see from the first 3 strategies, the 3 steps, we're in a real strong place now. If you've gone through all these, then you're actually in a really good place now to just be marketing. Whereas if you go and think, well, I need clients, I'm going to do some marketing, and then you start, searching online, this is where your marketing doesn't work, because you haven't got the kind of your product sales funnel, your product profile in place. You haven't got your lead generation hook in place yet. You haven't understood who your ideal customer is yet. You haven't identified where they hang out. You've got to do all that before you get to this point. This is why it's not the be all and end all that people think, I've just had £5,000 to spend on marketing, problem solved. Because it's not. You need to know all that information beforehand. But when we go into marketing, and on the Small Business Success Workshop, on day 3 as it's stage 4, but it's day 3, we go into it's about how to design your website to get leads. Having a lovely website is not necessarily the be all and end all, I'm afraid. You've got to have your function. It's got to be functional to a way to get leads. Free ebook. A lot of people use newsletter, which please don't. You give it a capture, like a free ebook, something like that. It's that's much more, it builds the attraction marketing more, rather than just sign up for a newsletter. Why would you just sign up for a newsletter and then people put on a website and think, I tried that, it didn't work, and it's not enticing enough. If you go to if you go to if you're mobile apps, for instance, if you sell mobile apps, go to a mobile app website and it says, there's download our ebook and video series, and how an app can improve your business. It's much more engaging to think, well, actually, I'll do that. I'll download that report or that video, rather than sign up for our newsletter. You see, it's a lot more engaging because that'll be specific to what people use. My one is about the free marketing tips with a free video series. So it's rather than just download the report, sign up for newsletter. It's download your report and get marketing tips directly to your email. So designing your website to get leads is different, and it's also a lot with the wording. Actually, a lot of people, the homepage doesn't do enough wording in terms of how it emotionally connects with people. And you remember with websites, you've only got about 7 seconds to capture people's imagination before they go off your website. So it's there's a lot to do with that, actually, and a lot of people get that completely wrong, and which is unfortunate, but the bad advice. And also, obviously, most people, everyone gets their website designed by a website designer. Now, I do know, looking at the list, there is a few web designers on it, so I'll be very careful what I say to you guys. But some of my clients are web designers, and they know that they've all admitted, to me in the end, that they're not the best marketing people. They're great at what they do. Designing websites, making websites looking beautiful. But they're not marketing people, and so they don't see it from your client's perspective as I would. The difference that I differentiate myself from any other marketing consultant or business coach or anything like that. Where I sit in the middle as a marketing and business strategist is because I look at it from your client's point of view and your customer's point of view. And if I don't know what it is, I'll go and find out before we work on strategies, because that's the important thing. Whereas website designers are great at what they do, designing websites and making them look lovely. But it might not necessarily be the best way to get leads from your website. So that's the important one. Then we go on to the biggies, I suppose, is using LinkedIn to generate leads. Something going to my small business success workshop is a key part, because there's a lot of, unfortunately, there is a lot of stuff, bad stuff, where people even do LinkedIn. And I know people that charge a lot of money to do LinkedIn courses, and it's rubbish information. It will never get you leads and clients. And it's just, you can read so many reports that are just the same old. But we go through about everything that I teach and to my clients, and we go through it is all based on actually what's worked in the real world, and what's worked for me, what's worked for my clients, rather than what people tell you they think might work, rather than actually they can prove that it has worked. So then we go into Twitter as well to generate leads, and a lot of you know my success around Twitter and the courses that I've run at LinkedIn and Twitter courses to generate. So we're going into a lot about using Twitter to generate leads. And just very quickly, with Twitter, it's unfortunate, but there is 4 sort of separate different profiles really about which profile you should use and to get the best to generate leads. What people don't want to hear on Twitter is obviously what sandwich you got for lunch. If it's your own personal Twitter, if you want use Twitter for personal stuff and business, just have 2 separate Twitter accounts. Have a personal one and a business one, and be very business-like on your business one, and on your personal one you can do what you want. But there is specific ways of getting, to generate leads to Twitter, and you shouldn't overlook using LinkedIn and Twitter, and obviously Facebook as well. Now, the reason why I always talk about using all 3 actually, and the people that come to my workshop will know that I go through it about using all 3. Now, there might be one that you prefer. I know there's one that I prefer. Which is actually the one I prefer using is LinkedIn actually. Well, usually it's going quite a lot over to Facebook now. I'm usually starting using Facebook a lot more than what I did before. But LinkedIn is very much the one. I know a lot of people think it's Twitter because of it, but because I've now did Twitter, I still like LinkedIn actually because of the different element and the different kind of caliber of leads that you can get from LinkedIn is different. And I think LinkedIn definitely, if you're for high profile clients and stuff like that, and also for joint venture engagement, I think LinkedIn's really powerful. But the thing is you've got to use all 3, because what you don't know is you don't know which one your client's is preferred one, and everyone's got their preferred. So there'll be people who've got LinkedIn profiles, and they don't, they set it up when they had an old email address, so they don't even get the emails anymore to get notified when they get profile updates, so they never use it. And you think about, they're on LinkedIn, I'll connect with them there, and what I say is use every 3, and use all 3 of these big ones really, in a thing, because you're engaging with whatever your client wants to use, and they'll tell you which one they use. And then over time, if you use all 3 really kind of consistently, you'll get to know where more your clients come from. And then what will happen is then that's the one you gear up to using more than the other 2. Okay, because if Facebook delivers you a lot more clients than what Twitter and LinkedIn ever does, then you'll use more Facebook more than the other 2. So I would say use 3, be really consistent for 1, 2, 3 months, and then kind of have a look at which one produces the more leads for you, more clients, and then use more of that, really engage and go big with it. So the next one is networking, which is great, and mostly, I mean, literally, it's over 80, way over 80% of my business comes through networking. I love it, and not just directly from the people in the room. It's about affecting the people in the room and giving value and being consistent. Again, going to the same networking groups consistently so they know a lot more. So the people in the room know a lot more about you, and even if they never use your products, they'll be happy to refer over to people. But networking is really key about getting your pitch right and actually having a strategy. Just saying I'm going to go networking is not a marketing strategy. And those of you who know me will know that I've openly sort of said before that I've got a 3-step strategy. So I have my pitch as a strategy, and then three steps after that to actually networking, and that's why it works for me. Okay, because I have a proper strategy that I put in place to generate leads through networking. If you just turn up networking, I think you're going to do your pitch and then you're going to pick up loads of leads and clients. That's where people struggle with it and don't get on with it and think, oh, I haven't really got a lot out of networking. But it's certainly enjoyable. If you're scared of networking, I'll just say, if you go to any new networking one, just say, oh, it's my first time or whatever. You'll find that most people are so helpful and responsive to you, and so you haven't got nothing to worry about, and it's a great way to get your business out there. It's an absolute great way, and really the word of referrals and people that go networking genuinely want to help other people get business as well as themselves. So it really does work a two-way street. And then, as we're going to stage 4, marketing, lead generation, well, there's other forms of marketing, obviously, email marketing, leaflets, adverts, etc. There's so many, obviously, out there that it'd be impossible to list. This would be a 4-hour session webinar in itself just talking about marketing. And well, in fact, I've done, as some of you may know, I've done full-day courses just on 21 tips of marketing or 17 ways to market business, stuff like that. So it's a lot of way. But email marketing is definitely a very key one. A lot of people are very scared of it because don't know how to use it. And whatever your form of marketing, lead generation is, just remember that marketing is generating leads, not clients. It's just this whole section here is about generating leads. But what we do is, particularly in my small business workshop, we go through all of these ones individually with you and your business, so you've got a strategy for all of them so that you bring in a constant flow of leads. And that's why I do my one-to-one clients, we just work on all of these stages, so there's always a constant flow of leads coming in. And then as we go into stage 5, turning leads into clients, this is what brings in the money, if you say. But you've got to have a constant flow of leads first of all. Now the first stage that I teach my clients a lot, and a lot of you may have seen the seminars of this that I do, and it is actually, I have included it as part of the Small Business Success Workshop, which is something that I wasn't going to do because it says I do it as a separate product on its own as a seminar, and it's expensive. I charge people $897 to come to this, but there is a 5-step way to set in without setting up. But a lot of people do this, especially small business as a whole. I want small business and I'm good at it, but I hate selling. Listen, if you're good at what you do, and you add value, and you're going to things that I'll add value first to prove that I am good at doing what I'm doing, then you don't need to sell, because just telling people about the benefits of whatever you do, whatever your product is, and understanding what them benefits are first of all, that will do the selling for you. Okay, and then what you do is your lead generation. Once you got your lead generation sorted, that's why you need all these stages beforehand of you having your strategy and having your structure set up properly, and having your marketing, so that when your marketing comes in, your product upsells and your product profile will sell itself, because the value that it gives, and you'll be attracting the right people because you're going to identified your ideal clients. You don't have to sell as much because they get what you want. Okay, they get it because they are your ideal clients. So it makes the selling a lot easier. But particularly if you're doing seminars, workshops and stuff like that, then it might be something you want to pick up with me individually, because the 5 steps of selling, or come to the Small Business Success Workshop, because the 5 steps of selling without selling is exactly what it is. It's 5 steps to, and it's for coaches particularly. It works for any business and any industry, but particularly with coaches and life coaches and business coaches, works exceptionally well, and really stops them selling without selling. And a lot of people say to me, and I always say to my clients, when my one-to-one clients, when using examples of when they've actually then come to me, and a lot of you will know that I really, I'm not forcefully selling. As far as I'm concerned, just offer the value, and if it's right for you, it's right for you. If it isn't, it isn't. and so I'm not selling at all, but I'm letting what my service is and what I offer people so valuable that it sells itself, and I don't have to force it down people. I put it in a way where things, but there is a 5-step strategy way of doing that, obviously. So very key. But if you're good at what you do and your product or your service adds value to an ideal client, however niche it is, then you don't need to sell it. Okay, you just need to be happy talking about the benefits of it. Massive point here. Creating a follow-up process. I really can't justify this. And on your control panel on the webinar, there you've got a little like the up hand, little high five sort of similar. If you've got a follow-up process and you're prepared to take questions on me challenging it, so that might stop a lot of you putting it over. Just click that hand for me. If you've got a structured follow-up process that I could ring you up tomorrow and say, what's your follow-up process? You can say, yes, Scott, I do this, and this happens, and this. They say no to that, or say yes to this, then that happens. So if you've got a proper follow-up process in place, that's a minimum of 5 follows-ups processes. So not just one, not just, I get a lead and then I ring them up or send them one email. That doesn't count because that's just one. So if you can just put your hands up there if you've got at least 5 processes here. And we'll give a minute for just people just doing. It's just a little high 5 hand signal on the control panel. That's it. A lot. 1, 2, 3. Now it's interesting. It says 6 people only. Any more? No. So from 249 on the webinar tonight, just 6 people have got a follow-up process, and I can tell you, one of them 6 is one of my clients, and so they should do, because it's something we've gone through. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, he would have been in trouble if he hadn't put. He just sent me a message on the thing saying I would have been in trouble if I hadn't put my hand up. Absolutely. So 6 people out of 249 have only got a follow-up process. Now, let me give you a statistic around this: is that 85% of sales come on average after 5 follow-ups from the company. So if you're not following up at least 5 times with each lead in some way, whether it's email marketing, whether it's phone calls or sending out or just keeping in contact with them, then you're missing out on potentially 85% business just from that process alone. And don't feel bad if you haven't, because as you can see, 243 people on this call haven't, which is a massive percentage. I don't know what a percentage is. Maybe I have a maths expert on here be able to tell me. But that's huge, and it's the biggest. It's one of the biggest things, as well as lead generation hook. If you've got a lead generation hook, if you just take out of this webinar, I need a lead generation hook and I need a follow-up process. They are the 2 big things really. That really stand out, that would make a massive difference to most businesses. And I actually I love it when I get to kind of with, for me, when I get when I start a one-to-one client relationship, and we talk about the follow-up process, and it's quite obvious they haven't got one, which is more than 9 times. I was going to say 9 times out of 10, it's more than that. And then it's probably sort of 99 out of 100, but and it's great because once we put in that process, it makes such a big difference to the business. So, and you think about this as well. If I could come into your business and put in a follow-up process, you wouldn't need to generate any other new clients or spend any money on marketing, because the follow-up process, already with what you're doing, would add an extra 85% to your business over the next year. Now, if we do it opposite, the ones that actually, just a couple of you, if you click on that high 5 again, so it's all off. The ones that clicked on it first of all, if you click on it again, it's off. So we've gone back to null. So just one more. That's it. So we've gone back to null. So now, click on the hand if you'd like to improve your business by 85% just by having a follow-up process. So click the hand if you want to improve your business by 85% or just having a follow-up process in your business. There you go, and pretty much 100%. There's two people. There's 247. So two people haven't built the big. So it's two people don't want 85% more business. Oh, hang on, no, one of them just clicked on there, so maybe they can't find the hand. So that's massive. So exactly. So it's that important to your business, having a follow-up process, whatever it is, email marketing, whatever it is. And something we do in the Small Business Success Workshop, when this is put out, we actually create that follow-up process for you. And actually, we don't create a 5-step process. We actually create a 20-step follow-up process for you, which makes a massive improvement. The next stage of turning leads into clients is creating a referral kit. Now, what I mean by this is that giving a way for your clients to recommend you and refer you. Now, just by saying, "Oh, would you recommend me?" and people go, "Oh, yes, I will do," and you've probably all had that, and you're all clicking. You get people you say, "Oh, yeah, they said they'll recommend me. I've had no clients from them. They haven't spoken to anyone," and you was hoping they would go out and tell everyone, and you bring in loads of other clients for you, and you've heard these things, these states that every client is worth 3 clients if you ask them to recommend you, and you've asked your clients to recommend you, and they go, "Yes, of course I will," and then they don't. Well, it's because you put them in an awkward position. It's your fault, and I hate to be a bit harsh, but it's your fault when we don't give people reason to recommend or refer us. If we just say go and recommend, it's quite a bit of pressure, for someone to then say, "Oh, yeah, go and use Scott, it's great," Yeah, they might. If someone asks them a specific question, so if someone uses me and I say, "Joe, will you recommend me to people?" and they go, "Oh, yeah, of course I will. Yeah, of course I will." Right. Now I think they're going to go out and go, "Yeah, Scott was great. Go and use Scott. Go and use Scott." That's what I'm expecting, yeah. And you're probably all nodding your head saying the same thing. But in reality, what happens is that person doesn't say anything to anyone. But if someone specifically comes to them and says, "Oh, do you know anyone that does marketing?" and they go, "Yes, I know this guy called Scott. Actually, he was pretty good. He helped me out." Then that's them in their eyes, and they're absolutely right. They've fulfilled that verbal agreement from you, and they've done it, and that's right. Now that might be really late on, but they have fulfilled it, and you're obviously expecting it a lot quicker. So that's the way of doing it. So, but you've got to have a record, whether it's do you have a leaflet to give them, or whether you actually have a conversation with them saying that if you recommend me to people, they can have 10% off and you'll get 10% back. Whatever it is, you need a way of saying to them that this is a way refer me, so they can do it. Whether or not you give them your business cards with saying 5% discount off for the next purchase or something like that, which makes them go out and do it without a non-salesy way rather than doing it salesy. And the next stage of turning leads into clients is reconnecting with old clients. So a lot of you have got clients that are old clients that you've used once, and they've had purchased one thing from you or used your service once, and you've never got back in touch with them. It's about you've got to try and reconnect with them because they're a great source, obviously, because they've already used you once, they've already bought your products, they trust you already. So you don't have to sell to them, but you have to go in a way where you're not thinking about your profit and you actually care about them. So the best way to connect with your old clients will be to ask emotional questions, like how are they, and and if you haven't contacted them for a long time, then you need to kind of take the blame for that, and say an email, like, "I haven't contacted you a long time, just want to know how you're getting on," and just reopen them lines of communication without saying anything first of all, and just thinking about them, just finding out how they are and where they are, because they might be in a different place than obviously what they were. Their circumstances might change, they might have a different businesses or a different personal situation than what they were then, and things have changed. So just reconnect initially by being sort of emotional with them and find out how they are, rather than thinking about your bottom line as such, and then it'll open up a conversation about your business and maybe what new products you do that they don't know about. Or if it's something like having massages, then they might think, "Oh yeah, I do need another massage," so it can be anything like that. Okay, and then a word that I think I've made up, but using the Trustometer to upsell. And what you do is with your clients. So when we talked about the product sales funnel before, in stage 2 is about the trust. So as people get to use you more, the more value you give out, the more trust that people have you, and you can use that to upsell in your range. So don't go for got to sell everything in one go. Just think of a little bit at a time, get the trust going, and then there you go. And that's why doing sort of workshops and seminars work. If you do a one-to-one service, then having a seminar and then having a workshop, you build up the trust level all the time. And then as you go in, before they come to one-to-one, otherwise it's too much of a leap to faith to go from sort of zero. Just to imagine if someone don't give out any value and someone sort of just talking to someone a networking thing, but your product costs £300, you're trying to sell to £300 straight away. There's too much of a leap of faith to that first sale. So you've got to kind of go and use your product sales funnel, as we said, to keep that trust going. And the more people, obviously, as you'll see, and it's things like if you use a particular product, and Apple are great with it because you have one product with Apple, so you won't mind spending a big item with Apple because you've loved your first thing, and they really build on that trust in it. So that's using that trustometer to upsell and to keep your clients buying from you more frequently, which as we identified is the easiest way to actually increase your turnover of your business. Right, so there are 3 ways to implement the proven pathway to success. There's the do-it-yourself, and there's the home study courses, i.e. like my businessgrowthsuccessclub.com, which is what that is. And then the third way is an accelerator growth course, and that's what my small business success workshop is. Now, whenever you hear these words, accelerator growth courses or accelerating courses, it's about, like my small business success workshop, it's about doing it with someone that's actually been there and done it. Okay, so let's look at the first way, really, about doing it yourself. Now, you've got a lot of information from this hour-long, well, it can end up being an hour-and-a-half-long, 90-minute webinar, but there's a lot of information there from seminars. You can go out and do it yourself. Just be warned, there's kind of a statistic that we all know about, for 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. That's fact, okay? Now, the interesting thing is that the 20% that are success, 4 out of every 5 have in some way, shape or form got help to make them a success. So if you're going to go and do it yourself, that's absolutely fine. You've got the information. You have to be there. That's why a lot of that 80% is because you can't do it yourself. If you're good at what you do, we talked about earlier web design. If you're a great web designer, the chances are you're not great at marketing and sales because you're great at web design. If you're great at being a health consultant, then generating leads and telling them to clients isn't going to be natural for you. So it might be that you're really good at what you do. And that's where the people that 4 out of 5 get the help from someone like myself as a marketing and business expert, because we've been there and done it, and it makes a big difference. So so you can go and do it yourself, but you just be aware of that. Just go and take action. If it's something, even if there's only just 10% or one little thing that you've taken away from this webinar, then make sure you go and action it. That's the biggest thing. Okay, now the second way is home study courses. And this is why I launched the Business Growth Success Club, because a lot of people like home study courses. I purchased loads myself, actually. The problem is with home study courses is it's like searching online, a bit like doing it yourself. You can find out all the information. You can get, you can find out all these courses and listen through them, and they're great. But unless someone's actually shown you actually how to implement it in your business, specific to your business, it's very difficult. So what happens is people tend to get these home study courses, but they don't really action any of it. And if you are good at actioning stuff, then great. But that's over. And the Business Growth Success Club, what that is basically it's a monthly membership club. So it's low cost, starts from £27, and you get a DVD each month, and that DVD will be one of the key parts of the proven pathway in a lot more detail. Okay, so the first one is all about the product profile, and in that in big detail, and stage 1 to stage 2 in a lot of detail. So, and then you also get as part of that as well, you get a marketing extended tips video. So marketing tips video, but the extended version. So it's a much longer version of marketing tips. And then at different points, there's an elite club thing as well, where you can get marketing case studies and so forth. And there's also a mastermind level um, as well. Now the third way, and if you've got low budget and you want some help, and it's very much in this sort of format as what we're doing now. Some of them are videos, some of them will be PowerPoint slides actually and stuff like that, and webinar replays and stuff. So, but you know, if your budget low, but you want some help, then that's a great way to start. And there's some I've given some. I hope you know, and from the feedback that we've got so far, some real value in that at a relatively low cost. Now the third way is an accelerator growth course, and this is what my small business success workshop is. So as I said, the accelerator growth course is someone actually, you know, on my 4-day workshop, what you do is I actually work with you to go, and we go through every detail that's in this proven pathway specifically for your business. So they're done in small groups, and then these small groups, and then we work on your business, you know, and help each other with some things. And but you'll leave that 4-day workshop with a lead generation help, with a follow-up process. Everything that's in there with how to do Facebook marketing, what sort of way you should use Twitter and so forth. So everything's covered, but it's kind of me doing it, me and my team doing it with you to make sure that you leave them 4 days with everything in place. And these are definitely these. I mean, out of the 4 out of 5 people that come successful, that get help, this is the one thing that will hurt, because it's getting someone that's been there and done it actually help you. And you can't replace that. It's just invaluable. It's just absolutely invaluable. You know, to be, you know, one of the things that people like to say success, and I've done it where I've sought advice from top business coaches and not so much business coaches, but top people that have had successful business, even if they're not industries that are not in the same industry as me. Just the fact that a successful business person, you can pick up, you know, just having a couple of hours chat with someone like that is, you can pick up so much great things, you know, and tips and so having someone like myself that's been there and done it and been a success and knows what doesn't work, knows what works, actually working with you for 4 days on your business, is a real proven way of doing it, and is a very successful way of doing it. So that's the third way, and that's very much what the special offer is going to be in relation to. Is I want the people, if you want to take action and you want help and you really want help, then then hopefully this special offer will be for you. And there's no hard sell. All I'm going to do is make it really valuable, and then you decide if it's for you or it isn't for you. But if you want to go and you've got this, hopefully I'll give you some great value and information that you can go away, and if you need to do it yourself, then you've got enough information to do that. So special offer, this is all around the small business success workshop. So the 4 days, me and Tim working with you and a small group of people. All the days are 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Initial ones were 4 p.m. actually, but we changed it now to 2 p.m. It's kind of bought for all the mumpreneurs and dadpreneurs like myself out there, so that you can do this course now within the daytime. And then the 4 days not all together. There's a different set of dates all throughout the year, and the usual price is $1,990, but I allow people to pay for 10 months at $199. So there's no extra interest or cost. Or a lot of people say, "Oh, this is cost," but if you pay monthly, it's a lot more expensive. I just divide it by 10 months. And that's what you pay. So that's the usual price. So the special offer is going to be just $149 for the 10 months. So you're getting a £500 discount over the 10 months. So hopefully that gives you enough valuable to, and it's up to you to decide if that's for you or not. But it basically working in a very small group and working on your business all 4 days to get every single part that we've talked about in place in your business. And if you wanted to pay for it all up front, then what I do is we kind of reward for that. And then if you pay in full, you only have to pay £1,000. So you'll actually get £990 discount if you pay for it all up right from the start. But if you want to pay for it over 10 months, and it's only $149, so it's kind of available to everyone. And to take advantage of that, I'll put the link below this on this webinar. I'm going to put the link in the box in a minute, and actually just going to do that while I'm talking to you. We'll put the link in there. But it's smallbusinesssuccessworkshop.com, and when you go to have all the details of the days there. But if you go to the book now bit, and then in the promotional code, if you put webinar, then when you get a call from myself or one of my team, will normally call you to talk about how whether you want to do it over the 149. If you put in webinar, we know that you get the offer the 149 over 10 months, or £1,000 if you want to pay it up front, and then we can take your card details, or if you want to pay by bank transfer, you can do if you pay for it up front. But we can take your card details for the 149. It'll be taken automatically, and when you go on that book now, there will also be a selection of dates that you can choose when to come on there. So it's got the dates on there for you as well. So that is the special offer if it's right for you and you want to take action and you want help from me and my team to make sure you get all this implemented in your business. I can't tell how valuable it'd be. I mean, I've spent a lot more than this to get the help that I've needed. So hopefully you'll see the value in it and take me up on that. And there's only a certain amount of spaces we can do in all the courses, but there'll be courses throughout. So just put in the promotional code webinar to get that offer. Okay. And what we do is now, as you've just seen a quick hint there, so we'll take any questions to the next few minutes, just see if there's any questions that come up. If you just want to type them into the question box on the side there on your control panel bit where the hand was, you can just type it in there and it'll come up, and we'll try and pick off someone's here. Some questions, or someone's already asked what cards are accepted. So it's Visa and MasterCard, or any type of Visa. So if it's a Visa debit card or Master or debit card, MasterCard, and then we don't take American Express, unfortunately. Our merchant only accepts Visa debits or MasterCard ones. Or you can bank transfer. But if you want to do the monthly ones, it's Visa or debit home. So it's a nice sort of kind of someone that's interested, obviously. So thank you for that, Ertin. So just looking at that was James that answered that. So thank you, James. And someone said about the Peter here's asked us, what can you be more specific about what we get on the 4 days? Good question, Peter. Maybe I haven't been specific enough. So the key points from every stage, the proven pathway of the successful business. So every stage. So on the day one, the bits of to set up the structure of your doing. So we'll be going through that specifically in your business. So we'll be looking at your product profile. We'll be looking at how if you haven't got, say you've only got one product at £2,000, we'll be looking at what products you can put in to fulfil that product profile upsell and sales funnel. And also, if on the other hand you've only got low end products, we'll be looking at ways that we're talking with you also about how you can actually introduce higher, a more expensive and higher price ticket item in your business. Day 2 will be all about developing your strategies and actually forming a lead generation hook with you, and lead magnet. If you haven't got that in place, we'll be setting that up with you. And then marketing lead generation about getting your networking pitch right, how to use LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter effectively, and it'd be different for each other. So we might have 4 or 5 people on the course at one time. It'll be really specific to you. We'll be going one at a time. This is the message for you to give out. This message for for everything. So be really specific about it. And then the turning leads into clients will be a follow-up system in place, specifically for your business and you, because it might be different. You might be in it. It might be for Peter doing an email marketing. For someone else, it might be about a phone call follow-up process, depending on what it is, or face-to-face. So be working specifically on each element of that things. And if you run through it again, and we'll send if you look on the Small Business Success Workshop page, it details each day, and we'll literally be going through each one, and specifically with me working with you. And so we keep the groups really small. It's not 10, 20, 30 people in the room and all that. It's really small, so we can really specific and get some quality time with me directly on your business. So that's exactly what we'll be going through on all the 4 days. So again, you can put, the value of that is absolutely immense. Jane here has asked, what are the levels of the Growth Success Club? Right. Okay. So I suppose we'll come on to that in a minute. There's 3 levels. The website for that separately is the businessgrowthsuccessclub.com, and I'm going to just type that into the thing now while we're talking. So it's businessgrowthsuccessclub.com, and specifically we have got a slide. I think it's the next one. Just go ahead. Yeah, here we go. So we've got so here's the monthly membership options. So there's 3 levels. The first one, as you see on your left of the screen now, is the £27 a month. And there's introductory prices here, by the way, actually, for these. If you go on there. So if you do the £27 a month, you can actually get it for £17 to try it for your first month. But that you get the Success Club, where you get a DVD with a module in detail of one of the specific elements of the proven pathway. And then you get an in-depth marketing tips as well. Which is normally like the YouTube ones, but a longer version, some extra stuff on there, more specific. And you get some tickets as well to the next sort of business growth and personal development seminars that I put on each month. And you can cancel at any time. So it's you can cancel whenever you want, or you can upgrade or downgrade. The next stage is the elite membership, Jane. So the option 2 is Elite, which is exactly the same, except you get a separate DVD, which is the marketing case studies. So I kind of go through a case study of specific marketing strategy that I use with either myself or one of my clients that was effective, and kind of go through all the nuts and bolts and how you can use it for different types of businesses as well. And you also, as a bonus on that, you also get a review of your website, an in-depth review of your website. So that's £47 a month, but the first month you can do it for £27. And then the next stage, which is the mastermind level, now you get again everything that you get in the Success Club and the Elite Club, but you also get a 2-hour one-to-one phone call each month, and it can be with myself or it can be with one of my coaches on the team, and it's just a one-to-one phone call that's scheduled with you. Plus you get to come to my monthly mastermind group each month, which is pretty powerful. It's about joining. You get giving you access to powerful joint venture promotion, so that's pretty powerful. And then you still get all the other bonuses, so the free website. And then the first month, as preloaded, which is the most valuable, is the first month you actually get that for £47 a month. And again, you can cancel at any time. And if you take the mastermind level option, you also get the option, if you commit to 12 months, you get to come on to Success Business Workshop as well. So if you commit to that, then agree to be a member for 12 months, then you get to come onto the workshop as well. So, but that's Business Growth Success Club thing. So thank you, Jay, on that. And then have we got any other questions coming through I haven't answered? This is one. John has asked, have I got to do this offer by Pacific time? Okay, I've just been told. So he was asking, is the special offer, the 149, is there a time limit on it? No. No, basically. If you watch this webinar, and actually because it's recorded, it's going to be a webinar replay, so even people that watch the replay, we're going to use that promotional code on. What we will say now is the obviously then we're not using the sales tactic, if you like, or saying urgency, do it now within the next 10 minutes, otherwise it won't be available. It will be available if you put in webinar, and if someone's watching this webinar replay in the future, because we might use it as a sales promotion video in itself, so they can still get the offer. What we'll say is that we are going to limit to 60 places over the next year only on this course. So that's not a lot for an accelerated growth course of, normally there's special offers, but as many people along, 100 people take it up or whatever. We're only going to have 60 because we limit the amount of people to each workshop, because it doesn't work otherwise. Because if there was 20 people in that workshop, it's just devalued because there's no way I can help 20 people in one go in a 4 hour session. If we're talking about lead generation hook, so it works really well with it works better, funny enough, with some more people. With like 3 or 4 people, 6 people is great because everyone helps each other a little bit, and there might be some similar businesses, and there might be something where we come up with something for one business and we think, well, actually, we can use that. You can use that as well, So we kind of, but it's more with maximum 6 people. It allows us to be more one-to-one. So we're only going to have a maximum of 60 spaces at all. Whether someone, whether people come through the website and pay for the £199 a month as they have done, or they come for a special offer, or they come through one of my seminars and take the special offer on the seminar. Whenever I do an event, I always have a special offer around it, but but it's just a case of there's not many places with it. So there's not a time constraint, but there is a places constraint, because as soon as M60 are fully booked, we won't be doing any more this year. It's as simple as that. And obviously it's a big commitment doing the workshops for me and my team, so it's not a guarantee that it's something that we'll be doing next year as well. Hopefully it will, because it's a way for me to help 4 businesses in 4, 5, 6 businesses in one go rather than just one. So that's the key for me. That's the real payback for me, because as you remember with my vision about affecting people's lives, I'm doing it more if I can do it at a time. But it's not just about filling the workshops, fill as many people as possible and taking as much money possible. It's about making a difference to businesses effectively. So we're going to limit to 60 spaces, and so hopefully we'll do it next year. But we don't know as yet. It's a strategy for our 12 months, as we said right at the start. It was a 12-month strategy, and we're going to go from there. So that's it. Got any questions that we haven't? We're trying. There's a few here that we've already covered in the webinar, so I don't really want to kind of go over a lot of stuff because we could be here all night. So sorry. We'll answer some of them back. Michael will answer that one. We'll email you directly back about that one, Michael, because that's more of a personal thing for you. So we've gone over a little bit. So we'll send you an email directly about that for you. And the well, that's a good question. So where and when the course is held? Well, so it's generally held near to where I live, funny enough, which is in Essex. If anyone knows it, in Dunmow. I'm just north of Dunmow in Essex, and so kind of Chelmsford is my key catchment area. So it's about 12 miles south for me, but it's my key catchment. A lot of them are in Chelmsford, and but we might point out some ones in Braintree, some venues in there that we like that are good. So it will kind of be around, probably within definitely probably I would say Chelmsford or miles. I mean, one of the things we're looking at is maybe taking one up north, and a thing to see if people from the web, if there's some interest in it. We're going to see the people what we're going to do is we're going to do some analytical stuff on the people that come on the webinar, where they're based. So there's a group of people, quite a group of people that are based, around Birmingham or something like that. We might look at doing one in Birmingham stuff. So we're going to look at the analytics there. But at the moment, they're genuinely going to be in Essex, around the Chelmsford area. So and similar question to that Brian's asked here about the 4 days and a consecutive, easy for me to say with my cold. No, yes and no. There's just a couple of options. There's depending on when you obviously now at the moment we've got 2 ones available. We've got a weekend one, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So over a weekend, and then 4 consecutive days on top of each other. The next one we've got is in March 11th and 12th, and it's a Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the week after a Tuesday and Wednesday. So we split them up, and a lot of them I think we're going to go with that strategy around splitting them up, because it seems to be what people wanted. But we've got the weekend option for people that are, and it's interesting because the people that are the weekend are people that are kind of in the business, in a job at the moment and just setting up their business and trying to make that breakaway, if you like. So we're giving that option out for both options. but you just have to keep checking. Obviously, depending on when if you're watching this webinar at different times, then there might be some different dates on there. So all you have to do is go on the book now, and then you'll see the dates on the next page and available. And yeah, so they're not necessarily consecutive, so that people can get to it. And we've changed it now from 10 till 4 to 10 till 2, so that people can make it. They've got kids and stuff like that around that. So it's cool. Is your question? Someone said, "Is it actually myself that is there on the days?" And yes, it's a simple question to that. Emily, yes, it is me. Just because I get. If you can you just Emily, if you're still on the call, if just can't go through the names. There's a few people left, but if you're still on the call, can you just kind of type in kind of why you asked that question? It would be nice to find that out. But yes, it's me absolutely delivering on the days, which is why again we're not doing one every week. For instance, we're just doing maybe one or two a month, and then a maximum of when 60 places have been booked over the years. So because it's a priority A for me. I need to deliver it. It's and making an impact. And thank you, Emily, just come back saying that she's booked a course once before with a well-known person that she obviously remained nameless, and they weren't actually delivering it. And no, yeah, okay, let's get it. So she's booked a course. So and what Emily's done, she's booked one of these Accelerate Growth courses before, which I imagine was a lot of money. Probably similar. I've been in that situation actually. I've been on a course once before that I paid a lot of money for, on the back of the person promoting it, and actually I didn't see them at all for that. So I get what you're saying, Emily. Yes, it is me. I'll be there in flesh and blood, and if you want me to wear a mask to hide my face, then that's fine. But yes, it will be me delivering it with some of my team, and majority of me just delivering it. So it's absolutely, it's a way for me to work with you one to one. Do you do one-to-one projects specifically around new launches? Okay, that's an interesting. Oh, okay. So yes. Email me separately about that. If you put John, if you put in the subject line email webinar question in brackets John, and then I know that's from you. Okay, John. So if you ask me that question in an email, I'll answer that directly, because that'd be unfair to kind of it. But yeah, depending what it is, John. And obviously there's a different cost involved. So yes. Is a seminar strategy a good idea? Well, again, that's very general, because I don't know your business. So that's a very general question. But generally, I love doing seminars as strategy for businesses, whatever the businesses are. It's something that's been very effective. I have a proven strategy that works for it, and actually I do a lot of work with people now individually, just putting that seminar strategy in place, which is a 2-session session on itself. So just about how to implement the seminars and workshops, and basically generally, make get high paying clients out of it. So but it depends on your business. And I can't. I'm not even. I'm I'm not going to try and pronounce it now. I think it's Elijah. I think that is, but I might be wrong. If I am, sorry. I do apologise. But it really depends on your business, Elijah, and also about you as well delivering it, because there is a proper strategy. But what I would say is, if you're good at what you do, then it does. If you're worried about, and you might be worried about. A lot of people worry about seminars, about delivering and obviously talking in front of people. If you're good at what you do, then that kind of shouldn't be an issue, and a session way. So and just one last question we'll take here is what, and another John has asked this question, is what what if you only want to work on one key aspect from all the strategies and you've got a lot of them in place already? Okay, so what you're saying, John, is that you've already maybe got a lead generation hook. I mean, it might not be that, but a process, and you've already got a few things in place of that. But there's one particular item you want to work on. Is that what you're saying? Is, and if you can just follow up with that, particularly. We'll wait for that to come through, and then that'll be the last question that we'll take. If there's any individual ones, you can, by all means, email them over, and we'll try and answer them as much as possible. And we had a 100% success rate last time, so we will definitely try and keep to that 100% success rate of answering everyone. So what's the question? Come back. Okay, so hasn't done. Only interested in the follow-up process and the seminar strategy. Already have a lot of the other stuff in place, but feel these would be the biggest improvements. Right, okay, so yeah, you're absolutely right. And they may be coming to the Success Workshop. You might go tangent if you're particularly them 2 bits. Interestingly, having a seminar strategy and a follow-up process to people that attend the seminar, really powerful in its session. It's a separate one I do with people, a seminar strategy and how to follow up. And there's a 2-day session, so that's something like that, and hopefully that will be the answer to the question. That's something, again, email me directly. Just put in the subject. Actually, don't put John because we've already got one coming from John. Just put webinar question, and then maybe bracket seminar strategy and follow up. And just had a couple of questions here. A lot of questions about the seminar strategy, interestingly enough. And do you have you mentioned, just last question there. You mentioned your seminar strategy is a 2-session strategy. How much do you charge for that? Well, that's quite a nice leading question. I'll answer that one as a plug for the seminar strategy. It's £1,000, right? Okay, and it's £1,000 for 2 separate 4-hour sessions that would go through a whole seminar follow-up strategy. But it's just not take away from, if that's something you want to do, then email me individually, people. But the real thing about a special offer, there's a small business success workshop, which generally for most people will cover everything that you need to cover. And so we're going to end it here. Thank you very, very much. It's gone a little bit over the time, but hopefully you found it valuable. By all means, send me some emails afterwards, and we'll let you know when this replay is available on YouTube and on the website. And say any questions, please email me, and hopefully we'll see some of you on the. Can't get all of you on the course because there's 249 people on the webinar tonight, so I won't see all of you on the course. But hopefully I'll see a lot of you on the workshops during the year, and or at some of my seminars or so forth like that. Some of the free seminars to meet you in person. If you have been on this webinar, you meet me somewhere, just by all means say hello. It'd be great to see you in person. Okay, thank you very much. That's all from us. Thank you.